This is a graph of the COVID deaths in Australia since the start in March 2020 up until May 2022. We had these deaths here at the start. A lot of them come off that ship. I can't remember its name now, the Princess something or other. And then we had this massive spike here, which was in the state of Victoria. I think the case fatality rate was very high as well. I think it went up to 6, 7, 8 per cent at one time. Then most of Australia was, well, all of Australia was in zero COVID. But they kept putting pressure on. Morrison kept allowing more people to go in and out of Australia, and eventually the hotel quarantine system broke. And then it was hurry up and get the vaccine, because you want to get rid of the AstraZeneca vaccine. So people started to get infected. The Delta variant had got in, and quite a few people died. But then it fell away a bit, and that's because of the vaccine in some ways, but also people around that time were getting a bit frightened of going out. So a lot of this fall here has to do with people sort of backing off of sort of going out. Then suddenly Omicron come along. Everyone thought, okay, it's weaker than the Delta variant. It just spreads a lot more quickly. But the number of cases went so high that we still had a lot of deaths that followed that. And this is in late February, and then it sort of bottomed out here, and now it's starting to rise again. The deaths are starting to rise again. That's because the vaccines are not working against the Omicron variant. A lot of people are double vaccinated and have not taken the booster shot. I'm sick of it, because there's no end to it. Because the vaccines only last for 2 to 3 months. You're going to have to get a booster every two or 3 months. So this is the reason that we're getting this rise here. We're also getting this rather sharp rise just around here. Starting from late April, you see there's a sharp rise here. And that's because all the states have dropped all of their masking mandates. Would have been around here. So they started to drop all their mandates. Well, actually, the New South Wales and Victoria were dropping the mandates early. Western Australia dropped its mandate around here somewhere, and this is a sharp rise here. So, well, actually, not all the people have died here yet. It's Western Australia, so we're going to see another sharp rise coming up. So you can see the death rate is actually going up again, and we have the situation where most people, even if they've received 2 doses or 3, will soon be not protected at all, and this death rate will just start to climb. There's talk of a new vaccine coming out, but it's going to have to be something completely different to what we've been using. Using the spike protein has been completely wrong, because that's the bit that was made in the lab. That's the bit that was added onto the bat virus to make the coronavirus. So I don't hold that much hope. And plus, we're now in a situation where you will permanently have about 5% of the population will be infected with COVID, and as one gets better, another person will get COVID. So you'll have a steady pool of 5% of people carrying COVID And in Australia, that means 1.5 million people will be permanently infected with COVID. And in Western Australia, 150,000 people will be permanently infected. So it's about 3 in 50. So when things settle down, that could change with a new variant that spreads more or a more deadly variant. But at the moment, 3 in 50 of all people around you have COVID. So when you go out, if you see 50 people, you would have encountered roughly 3 people that have COVID. And a lot of people are walking around without a mask. I take the virus very seriously because I know it was made in a lab, and I know it has some dreadful effects. It is not a flu. It is not a flu. It's not made up. It's real. So I just want to avoid the virus totally.